So we are discussing fundamentals of base erosion and profit shifting, my dear friends. From action plan 1 to 7 we have already completed till now. Action plan 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12 majorly covers transfer pricing related provisions, which we have already dealt in transfer pricing. It just says that countries, the transfer pricing provisions should be stringent, not only to include goods, provision of goods, not only services, but also intangible assets. Please understand. So countries transfer pricing provision, which are specific anti-avoidance rule, should be there on supply of goods by non-resident in India, supply of services by them to India, and supply of intangible asset by them to India. So it should also conclude the current transfer pricing provisions of India focuses more on supply of goods and services, and there is a lack of intangible asset related transfer pricing provision, but sooner or later India will also adopt intangible asset related provisions. Apart from that, 11 and 12 talks majorly about disclosure requirement, that the country should have very strict disclosure requirement, and majority of this we have already adopted. We have increased the disclosure requirement by the foreigners. We have the provisions in India where they have to maintain the documents, and the document has to be disclosed with government authorities, and if they don't disclose, they will be liable for a very good amount of penalties. So majority of this 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 is covered by transfer pricing provisions. Apart from that, 13 talks about re-examine transfer pricing documents. Re-examine. When you are having a transfer pricing documents with you, again and again keep revising it, again and again revisit it, because once the transfer pricing documents are accepted, that doesn't mean NR will function in the same pattern that he has promised. So you should keep checking, revisit, recheck the documents and the contract that government of India and foreign entities have already signed. You go and check please, and ask them to give you detailed information now, and the detailed information is covered under action plan number 13. Standardized approach to TP documents. Okay, master file, you know that we have discussed this. There will be master file. Master file means it will be maintained. Master file will have all the data of whole MNC. If you are having a operation in 10 countries, all 10 countries combined information will be there in master file. Okay, standardized information relevant to the all multinational enterprise group members regarding global business operation and TP policies, everything will be there in the master file. Apart from that, we will have local file. Local file means so far as India is concerned. Okay, transactional information specific to each country, detail covering related party transaction or associate entities information. So India, so far as Indian transaction, it will maintain file in India. Germany will maintain file in Germany. Australia will maintain file in Australia. That is local file. Okay, and then to be delivered by MNC directly to the local tax administration. This file will be shared with MNC, multinational enterprise, with Indian income tax authorities if they are talking about India. And then country by country report. This is something new we are having in income tax law section 286, which talks about multinational groups has to give country by country reporting, then only TP provisions can be effectively applied on them. Okay, so information relating to global allocation of MNC's income and tax paid, and indicators of location of this economic activities within the multinational enterprise group. So through this only we will come to know whether they are actually doing base erosion and profit shifting or not. Okay, so unless and until we are having country by country reports, you will never come to know whether BEPS is happening with India or not. Country by country report only will disclose whether BEPS is happening. One example, say they are paying they are showing, this is India and this is Netherlands. They are showing 100 crore profit in India, where their major business is located in India, and in Netherlands they are showing 500 crore profit, because in Netherlands tax rate is very low. Imagine the tax rate is very low. Say for example, their tax rate is very low, 5%. India tax rate is 40%. Imagine. Okay, obviously they must have done something to shift the profit from India to Netherlands. This is the primary assumption. This you will come to know only if you are having Netherlands data with you. So we are saying no, right now India needs country by country report, and it has to be given by ultimate holding company. Ultimate holding company is responsible to give this data to Indian tax authorities. Okay, to be filed by the tax to be filed in the tax resident jurisdiction by ultimately parent company, ultimately holding company. So do we have provisions in Indian Income Tax Act relating to this, relating to this action plan? Yes, section 92D mandates the associate enterprises which is located in India to maintain and furnish the master file with Indian government authority. Maintenance is prescribed and information documents. So we are having detailed rules in transfer pricing. Section 286 is for CBC, country by country requirement and related matters. Requirement requires aggregate information with respect to amount of revenue, profit and loss account before income tax department, amount of income tax paid and accrued, and stated capital, number of employees, nature of details. All these activities, all this information will be there in CBC, isn't it? Thank you.